All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors unto the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation and much love to you, Hakim, out there pushing out this word, truth, sincerity. And I just want to do a quick video on the pestilences, all right, that's going on in around the world, really, but mainly here in America, because this is going to be the place of great judgment, okay? And as you see, well, let's just go to the Googles. You got the measles outbreak reaching 23 states, okay, which would be a pestilence. Measles, all right, you have E. coli, 56 tons of ground beef recalled for E. coli. You know, you have all these different, look at deadly fungus, at least 587 cases of deadly fungus reported 1 month ago. New York City declares measles public health emergency. Okay, so you have pestilences happening right now in the United States of America. And then you also have the Black Plague back in style, a medieval disease. The bubonic plague has already killed 2 in Mongolia. Has been reported to be in San Francisco. Or no, Black Death of the Golden Gate Review, San Francisco plague years. But nonetheless, the bubonic plague, all right, is back. They have quarantined flights. They've quarantined schools out there in California. I believe one was UCLA, and I can't remember the other one. But nonetheless, were quarantined because of pestilence. Okay, they were quarantined because of pestilence. You had the Scientology cruise ship quarantine. Okay, so you got a lot going on right now concerning pestilences or plagues. Hundreds of students and staff from 2 LA universities remain quarantined. More than 800 quarantined by LA universities for the measles. Okay, so things is going. The Most High is visiting the earth, man, through these plagues or pestilence. All right, you go to the word pestilence in the online etymology dictionary. It says plague, epidemic. All right, a plague, an unwholesome atmosphere, infected, unwholesome, nauseous, deadly disease. Plague. All right, a deadly disease would be that bubonic plague. You get that, you're done for. All right. So the Lord is beginning to visit the earth. Let's see if we can get the word pestilence here in the blue letter. Exodus. We'll just go to Exodus 5:3. The bar. Oh, that's weird. That can't be the one. Okay. Yeah. The bar means to speak. But anyway, this word here is pestilence, plague, cattle disease, cattle plague, death. All right. Destruction, death. That's what these plagues are bringing, death and destruction. All right. So nonetheless, let's just go ahead and get into these scriptures, because this is something that prophets have been saying for years now. All right, begin with the elder apostles of Great Millstone. We have been prophesying of these diseases that are going to come. All right, all these diseases are coming back in a big way. All right, anthrax, measles, the bubonic plague, and they're just going to keep increasing. And there's going to be new diseases that no one's going to know what the hell it is, or what the hell to do, or what antibiotics to use, or none of that, because the Lord's going to bring these pestilences. All right, so this is Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. All right, so part of the things that we're telling you about, warning you about, is the pestilences that are coming to the shores of America and in the four corners of the earth as well. All right. That's something that the prophets have said time in and time out before a kingdom falls. Because what happens when the kingdom is falling, all right, it starts to deteriorate. Hygiene goes out the window, sanitation goes out the window, and that creates diseases or pestilences, plagues. All right, so when they start throwing people in concentration camps, all right, and there's no running water, there's no electricity, all right, people aren't bathing, well, guess what's going to happen? Diseases are going to spread quickly. Okay, that's what happens in looking in Venezuela. There's going to be a time when the diseases is going to be everywhere because they're eating out of trash cans, not taking showers, living on the bare essentials, barely living. So what's that going to cause? It's going to be a breeding ground for diseases. Okay, and that's what we're trying to warn our people about. And it's going to happen here in America, even on a whole nother level. Because of what? Because of the atrocities that were done here to our people. The punishment of this place is going to be among many things. Well, part of them is pestilence. Okay, diseases. All right, so let's get that in Judith chapter 5 verse 11. Therefore the king of Egypt rose up against them and dealt subtly with them and brought them low with laboring in brick and made them slaves. And that's the same thing that happened here in the modern day Egypt. All right, the spiritual Egypt, which is America. We were made slaves here in America. All right, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans were slaves here in North, Central, South America. All right, and as well as in the Caribbean islands. All right, verse 12. They cried unto their power, which that's what we're doing, beginning with the elect. All right, the elect is crying unto our power, Yahweh Bashim El Shai. And he smote all the land of Egypt with incurable plagues, so the Egyptians cast them out of their sight. All right, so what? The Lord hardened the Egyptians' heart, and that's so he could bring those plagues. And he brought pestilence, he brought a famine, he brought destruction. Okay, and that's what's going to happen once again. All right. Like Yahweh Shai said that we would be seeing in these. Well, actually, we'll get that in a second. First, let's go to Ezra 15, real quick. All right, this is second Ezra 15 and 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So just like happened last time, the plagues came unto Egypt because of what? Pharaoh refused to let the Israelites go. What did Moses say? Let my people go. But he refused it. The Lord hardened his heart, just like he's hardened these Edomites' hearts to be prideful, and to continue to oppress us. Well, guess what? Now the Lord's going to bring the same, well, actually worse plagues upon this Egypt, the land where we were made slaves once again, as a whole. All right. And it said that he will destroy all the land thereof. So the Lord's ultimately going to destroy this whole land. Egypt wasn't fully destroyed. You can still go and check out the pyramids that we built. You can go see all the statues, all that's still over there. But this place is going to be destroyed, utterly destroyed. All right, verse 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. And the ultimate plague, of course, is going to be those nuclear missiles. Those thermonuclear missiles. But before that, there's going to be pestilence, plagues as in diseases. All right. Where the insects tearing shit up, like in plagues before, man. Locusts is eating all the crops. The floods. Look what's going on in the Midwest out there, Iowa, Idaho, all them places out there where a lot of crops come from. Okay, the Lord is bringing plagues. All right, and pestilences, he's ramming them up right now. He's ramping them up. The diseases are coming to a city near you, and they're gonna start quarantining a lot more places. Like Apostle Har said, avoid major crowds. Public places like that, man. Don't be going to no concerts and basketball games. Just stay away from that shit, because you might get quarantined with those people, man. If you want to go have a quick bite, get in and get out. You want to go to a restaurant or something, go to a low-key spot. Don't be going to no place where there's hundreds of people at, man. Because you liable to get quarantined in there. All right, let me jump to 2nd Ezra 15 and 27. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For the Most High shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against them. All right, so this is mainly talking about our people, because our people is the ones that sinned against Yahweh Shimi Awashai. 2/3 of our people, turned their back onto the Lord. All right, smacked his hand away from him. All right, because they don't care. They want to sin against the Lord. So ultimately, they're going to remain in these plagues. All right, as 2nd Ezra 8 and 50 says, many great misery shall be done to them that dwell in the latter days, latter time. Well, guess what? Part of these is going to be those pestilences, man. You might get a disease that you don't die the next day. You might suffer for 2-3 weeks, and then you just croak, man. That's the pestilence the Lord's bringing, man. You might get the measles, and then you might contract some E. coli from eating some raw beef, ground beef. So you might get a multiple diseases and just die slow, man. And a lot of people are gonna die. You might get a pestilence and then die of starvation because you can't eat. You don't even have the appetite to eat, so you just wither away slowly, man. Because the disease just got you bugged out, or they quarantine you and you bug out and die in that bitch. So the Lord got a lot of judgment coming for you people, man. All right. And especially here in America, 2nd Ezra 15 and 48, thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions, therefore saith the Most High, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. In part, we read in that, here it says, deadly disease, plague, all right, destruction and death. That actually was in the blue letter. I would close it out, but that's what the pestilence is, man. It brings destruction and death. All right, because people get crazy when quarantines happen, and people know that if I get this disease, I'm gonna die. Man, people are gonna be fending each other off, and they will put each other to death if it comes to it, man. That's why I say the Lord gonna send plagues upon them. Some of the plagues is widowhood, men dying, leaving their women alone. All right, going off to the Middle East, never coming back. Poverty. Ain't your money is not gonna do anything for you. It's gonna be for burning. All right, keep you warm at night. Famine, that's starvation. People dying of starvation. Sword, that's an instrument of death. All right, guns, knives, getting hammered in the face to death. All right, pestilence are the diseases. All right, to waste the houses, man. And that's right around the corner. Okay. Okay, 2nd Ezra 16 and 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So this is just the beginning. What we're living in, is this the beginning of the end, and it's gonna increase and get worse and worse, and the time's gonna speed up, because for the elect's sake, the days are gonna be shortened. Okay, 19, behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So all these things that are coming are really for the 2/3, because the scourges, meaning a punishment, a whooping, for amendment, meaning for change, to change something. What are they going to change? Change the mentality of these people. But what? They still not, well, verse 20, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Because really the Lord is bringing this time of Jacob's trouble, which consists of all these things we just read. The sorrows, the great mourning, famine, the great death, wars, plagues, tribulation, pestilence. All these are for the 2/3 to change them. But what? For their wickedness, they ain't going to change because of their wickedness. So this is for the 2/3, because this is how they get purified. This is how they go. This is their furnace of adversity. We're going through our furnace of adversity, our afflictions, our tribulation right now. All right, and then ultimately we hope to be saved. All right, that's what our faith lies in, because we're gonna be made purified through this, through what's going on now, the persecution, the humiliation. So we don't have to go through all these evils, man. But a lot of you people are going to die of horrible diseases, among other things. All right, so we'll close out on this, because this is what the Lord said would be happening in these last days. All right. All right, Luke 21 and 11 and great verse 10. And then said he unto them, Nation shall... Oh, hold on. All right, verse 9. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Because you have all these wars been going on for a minute, and more commotions are taking place throughout the world. Yellow vest protests, Venezuela, Iran, and America heating up. All right, China and America heating up. Russia ain't playing too kindly. Okay, so things are getting commotion. More commotions are coming. But he said, "Be not terrified. These things got to come to pass." So this is the beginning of the sorrows, like we read in Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 10. Then said he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. So there could be race wars, World War III, Civil War, all kind of things. You name it, it's gonna happen. Verse 11. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. That's why you have more chariot sightings. That's why you have these signs in the sun, star, and the moon. You know. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. So you know this is coming, and we're gonna be persecuted. All right, before this thing really explodes to a whole nother level, because they want to demonize us on the national television, so to say. All right, but this is how we know the end is nigh. All right. But you know, with that, I don't want to desire this was edifying unto the elect. All right, pests, stay away from these stay away from homeless people too. Like Pastor Hart said, you don't be touching them, man. Shit, you gonna give them some money, throw that, you know, you ain't gotta throw it at them, but you know, just make sure you don't touch them, man. Those are the best people to pass these diseases, man. And guess what? America's full of homeless people. All right, they're like rats, and rats quickly spread disease. Okay, but you know, with that, I don't want to desire this edifying. Mawatha ball, shalom.